Hey, it's Lee. I'm here with a pickups video. I'm going to be a little quiet on this one. I have a roommate who's probably sleeping right now. It is 5 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to do laundry. Figured I could sneak this in at the same time. These are pickups from last weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't get to film it until now. I traveled a little ways. There was a toy store that my friend wanted to go to. And they also had a couple games there, and I managed to find a deal there. Now, this is Castlevania, and what is it? Curse of Darkness. I'm trying to read through the camera instead of actually looking at the game. For some reason, it wasn't focused there. This game was listed at $1, but I actually ended up paying less than $1 because the guy kind of gave it to me for free when I picked up a bunch of other things. So I'm just going to move this over and we'll show you some other stuff. I will show you some of the stuff that I picked up at that store, that toy store after, but let's focus on games. So, oh man, my nails are gross. Look at that. Look how gross that is. Ugh. So embarrassing. I've been doing some cleaning, some dust is getting under there. So anyways, I went to another store shortly after that toy/game store, more familiar stores, and pretty much I was in a spending mood. I had a little bit more cash than I usually do. I figured, you know what, let's just go all out. So this is Cartia, the world. Is it the world? No, it's the Word of Fate. And it's an RPG. I don't know too much about it. It looks pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. God, I wish I remembered the price. I think the game's worth about $40 Canadian. I think that's about what I paid. I know I didn't get a steal on it, but I know I paid about $5 less than I had it listed at. So I was happy to pay that. And the last game I picked up is probably, well, I'll show it to you first. So this is Gunstar Heroes, and it's complete. And the box, I believe, is in near perfect shape. But the label on the game itself is not. It's pretty rough. Anyways, I don't know why I'm twisting it that way. You know what it is. But this was a big buy for me. It was one of the top, I would say, 5 targeted games I have on my list. Like I have a list of probably close to 200 games that I'd like to buy. But this, if I made it in order of the games I'd like the most, this was right near the top. I've never played this game, but it looks awesome. I've always wanted it, and it's jumped in price a lot recently, and I figured, you know what, get in while I can. It's just going to go up. Good games go up in price. It's just something we have to accept. So I was glad to pick that up. So that kind of does it for the video games for that week. But like I said, that guy, I went to a toy store, and lately I've been feeling super nostalgic and also watching a lot of wrestling. And I was looking into figures, and then I saw that they had a few there, and I said, you know what? Why don't I just pull the trigger on this? Like, the guy had these listed at $5 a piece, but he ended up giving me a bunch of them, plus some extras, plus my game for free. So I basically paid $20 everything in for what I'm going to show you, plus the Castlevania game. So these, I don't know how many of you are old school wrestling fans, but I was big into WWF, and this team was called Demolition. This guy was Smash. This guy was Axe. These are in near perfect shape. They're in very good shape. It's a little dirty, but very good shape. They're probably the best conditioned ones out of the bunch that I got. Yeah, I've been looking at figures. It's kind of strange that this happened. And I didn't have those figures. I still have some of my old figures from when I was a kid. Well, I have all of them, but Axe and Smash never had them. So these are 2 more. Now this is Erwin R. Shyster, who is IRS. he's got 2 kids currently in WWF, I believe, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. So that's kind of neat. He's in a little bit of rougher shape. And here is Hakeem, the African Dream. Or is it Akeem? It's Akeem. And he used to be known as the One Man Gang. Pretty fat guy. But I'm a fat guy, so that's cool. I can relate. The last figure is one I actually already have. It's in a rougher shape than mine. But this is pretty much the wrestler that got me watching wrestling in the first place. Like, the very first show I ever watched was a little kind of house show thing that used to play on Canadian TV called Maple Leaf Wrestling. And Dusty Rhodes was one of the featured guys there. And that's kind of... he turned me on to wrestling. What really sunk it in for me were 2 wrestlers, the Ultimate Warrior and the Texas Tornado, who was also known as Kerry Von Erich. But Dusty Rhodes kind of got the ball rolling for me. I already own this figure, but I know for a fact that it's actually one of the rarest wrestling figures. It's from Series 2, which is this, I guess, the second line of these wrestling figures that came out, and I believe it typically, and this one's in rough shape, but it typically retails for in the $40 to $50 range. So to get it for $4, it's fine. I don't know if I'm going to be reselling wrestling figures. While we were at it, the guy tossed these 2 things in too. Now, these are WCW figures from the same era. These are all early 90s, by the way. These would range between 91 and 93. I believe these 2 are from 91. This is Brian Pillman. I didn't watch a ton of WCW, but I do know a few things. But this is Brian Pillman, and I believe, if I'm not wrong, this is Tom Zenk. Tom Zenk had a cup of coffee in the WWF before he went to WCW. He was part of a tag team. I forget which tag team. I think he's with Paul Roma. But yeah, not a bad day. I recaptured a bit of my youth with wrestlers, and I got 3 games, and I paid quite a bit for 2 of them, and one I practically got for free. So overall, a decent weekend. Had a good time. And I don't expect to have a pickups video this long. I hope the wrestling didn't distract too much. But yeah, it's pretty rare that I have this many games, or at least this much money invested in a weekend. But it felt really good. It was the weekend after my friends had left, which kind of sucks for my group of friends. But I just kind of gotten paid, and everything kind of fell into place for me. So it was a good time. All right, thanks.